The slap echoed through the marble courtroom like a gunshot. Cameras flashed, gasps erupted, and within seconds, the entire nation would be talking about one moment, a cop's rage colliding with a woman's unshakable calm. He thought he was silencing another activist. What he didn't know was that the woman he struck wasn't just any witness. She was a member of Congress, a decorated veteran, and his greatest reckoning. What happened next would ignite protests, divide the country, and change American justice forever. But first, please make sure to subscribe the channel and comment below from which city you are watching this video. Washington, D.C. pulsed with tension that Tuesday morning. Outside the federal courthouse, crowds clashed, signs reading "Reform Now" waved against banners that said "Back the Blue." Inside, every seat in Courtroom 4A was filled. Cameras pointed toward the podium, where a calm woman adjusted her glasses and began to speak. Her name was Kesha Williams. Most people thought she was just an expert witness with a stack of data. No one knew she was a sitting member of Congress. Across the room, Officer Marcus Bradley stood guard, a man forged from 3 generations of cops, still grieving his brother who died in the line of duty. To him, the badge was sacred. And yet, as he watched Williams present evidence of police misconduct, something inside him boiled. Every statistic, every graph, felt like a personal attack. He didn't know her calm came from combat training in Afghanistan. He didn't know her evidence came from federal investigations, many involving his own cases. As the courtroom listened, Williams clicked to her next slide. Bradley's face appeared on the screen. His record of complaints scrolled below. The air turned electric. In that moment, 2 worlds collided, one built on power and pride, the other on truth and accountability. Everyone could feel something was about to break. But no one, not even Williams, knew how far Bradley would go once his secret life was exposed in front of the world. From that day forward, the courtroom became a battlefield disguised as a hearing. Williams returned each morning with fresh evidence, each piece cutting deeper into the institution Bradley swore to protect. The first clips showed body cam footage, a terrified teenager slammed against a car, a Hispanic mother crying as Bradley twisted her arm. His recorded voice echoed through the courtroom. Commands barked, threats made, authority abused. Every video peeled another layer off the man once seen as a decorated officer. Judge Morrison's gavel pounded again and again as Bradley interrupted, shouted, and burned with humiliation. Each outburst fed the cameras, painting him as a man unraveling in real time. His own radio captured racial slurs and casual cruelty. "Usual suspects doing usual suspect things," his voice said. The gallery gasped. For the first time, even other officers looked away. By day 3, the courtroom no longer felt like a place of law. It felt like exposure. Williams remained unshaken, her calm voice slicing through the noise. "Patterns of excessive force," she said, pointing to charts that proved Bradley's unit targeted minority neighborhoods 300% more than any other district. Bradley exploded again, calling her biased and deceitful. The judge's warning meant nothing. Outside, the courthouse became a circus. Protesters filled the steps, reporters fought for angles, and whispers of corruption and racism filled the air. But Williams never wavered. Her purpose ran deeper than headlines. She wanted the world to see what unchecked power looked like. Then came the 5th day. Williams presented the video that would destroy everything. The footage showed Bradley planting drugs in a suspect's car, a father with his child crying in the back seat. The room erupted in horror. In those seconds, Bradley's career, his legacy, his identity began to collapse. And inside his chest, rage began to burn into something far more dangerous: vengeance. Wednesday morning, the air inside Courtroom 4A was thick enough to choke on. Reporters packed every corner, cameras locked onto the podium where Kesha Williams stood ready with her final presentation. Outside, chants from protesters echoed through the marble walls. Inside, silence reigned. "Exhibit 24, Williams said, clicking to the last video. It showed Officer Marcus Bradley planting drugs in a car, his own hand slipping the baggie onto the seat. The suspect's small daughter screamed as her father was dragged away. The video ended, but the sound of her cries lingered like a haunting echo. Judge Morrison called for order, but it was too late. Bradley's face turned crimson. His life was flashing on every news feed, every screen, every whispered breath in that courtroom. "She destroyed me," his mind screamed. Every truth she revealed cut through the armor of his denial. When Williams looked up from her notes, her calm composure became the final insult. To Bradley, she wasn't just exposing his crimes, she was erasing his legacy. He snapped. Boots pounded marble. Phones rose like a forest of witnesses. Cameras turned as Bradley stormed toward her, shouting, accusing, unraveling. You people come in here with your lies and your charts. Williams stood still. Not a step back. Not a flinch. The slap cracked like a rifle shot. Gasps filled the air. Her glasses flew, her cheek reddened. But when she straightened, the entire world seemed to pause. The veteran in her replaced the witness. Her body shifted, precise, deliberate, and in 3 seconds everything reversed. A block. A strike. An elbow. Bradley hit the marble floor, unconscious before the gavel could fall. Williams adjusted her glasses, voice steady. As I was saying, Your Honor, systematic misconduct requires systematic reform. The world had just witnessed 3 seconds that would ignite a revolution. The video spread like wildfire, 3 seconds of precision that changed everything. Congresswoman Knockout trended across every platform. To some, she was a hero. To others, a criminal. The celebration barely lasted a day before the headlines turned. Assault on a federal officer. Excessive force. Political disgrace. Officer Bradley appeared on television, wearing a neck brace and speaking softly about trauma and fear. He told the world he was just trying to maintain order. Public opinion split in two. Hashtags battled. Hashtag Justice for Bradley against hashtag Stand with Kesha. Police unions painted him as a victim. Reform activists called her a symbol of courage. But Kesha Williams didn't hide. She faced trial alone, defending herself before the same judge who'd witnessed it all. Calm, unwavering, she dismantled the prosecution's case piece by piece. The courtroom watched as she exposed Bradley's history, 47 complaints, racial slurs, planted evidence, and threats buried under bureaucracy. When the jury returned, the silence felt eternal. Not guilty. Cheers erupted. Tears streamed. Williams stood steady, her victory not in the verdict, but in the truth that finally saw daylight. Within months, her police reform bill passed through Congress with overwhelming support. Cameras capture her signing ceremony beside the president, the same woman once branded violent now celebrated as the reformer who reshaped American law enforcement. Across the world, training programs adopted the Bradley Protocol, a reminder that assumption without verification destroys lives. Marcus Bradley faded into the system he once served, a name synonymous with arrogance and downfall. Williams rose into history, her legacy etched into policy, classrooms, and courage itself. And as the viral clip replayed endlessly, that slap, that calm, that reversal, it carried one question that outlived them both. When power meets truth, which one defines you?